Welcome to the language course of semester 3 students, BA, BSc and career related BA, BSc students of University of Kerala. So you have one paper common for English language course, that is English for career, and in that you have 4 modules. I'll be dealing with the first module, um, half of the first module I would like to say. And yeah, this first module has 10 units, and this lecture is the part 1 of unit 1. Among the 10 units, this is the part 1, half of unit 1. I have tried to cover the half of unit 1. So basically this is to enrich your vocabulary. And this unit 1, in this unit 1 you have one reading passage where you have to read the passage and answer the questions, multiple choice questions as well as one word questions. And most of the questions are based on either synonyms or antonyms or idioms and phrases. So we look into the terms idiom, synonym, antonym and phrases first, and then we'll move on to the passage that is given in your textbook. A synonym is a word, morpheme. Morpheme means a smallest meaningful unit or phrase of the same language that have the same or nearly the same meaning in some or all senses. So basically synonym is a word or a word that is equivalent to the target word that you are aiming to, that is the meaning, the words with almost similar meanings. And an antonym is a word that means opposite of another word, that of course you are learning from your school days, opposites. And idioms are a collection of words or phrases which have a metaphorical meaning that is accepted in common language. Metaphorical meaning means a literal, something more than the literal meaning, a figurative use of words. And phrase is a small group of words that forms a conceptual unit. And that of course you have examples like of gorgeous style, as fast as possible, on the way, put off, etc. And few examples for idioms have also been given: once in a blue moon, beat around the bush, a piece of cake, etc. And phrases, there are 5 different types of phrases: a noun phrase, verb phrase, prepositional phrase, adjective, adverbials, etc., that you have already learned in your semester 2 classes. So we are not going to deal with the different kinds of phrase, and also you do not have questions from that, because that is already done within your semester 2. Now we look into the passage that is given in your textbook. So I have just copied that passage from your textbook here so that we can answer the questions. Now look into the passage. Read the passage given below and complete the exercises that follow. If you have a textbook, then that will be more easier for you in order to find the answers. When I joined the BSc course at St. Joseph's, I was unaware of any other option for higher education. By the way, before moving to the rest of the paragraph, I would like to say that this is a passage that has been taken from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's autobiography, Wings of Fire. Okay, we'll move on to the rest. Nor did I have any information about career opportunities available to a student of science. Only after obtaining a BSc did I realize that physics was not my subject. I had to do engineering to realize my dreams. I could have joined an engineering course long ago, right after finishing my intermediate course. Better late than never, I told myself as I made a detour, applying for admission to the Madras Institute of Technology, regarded as the crown jewel of technical education in South India at that time. I managed to be on the list of selected candidates, but the admission to this prestigious institution was an expensive affair. Around 1,000 rupees was required, and my father could not spare that much money. At that time, my sister Sohara stood by me, mortgaging her gold bangles and chain. I was deeply touched by her determination to see me educated and by her faith in my abilities. I vowed to realize her bangles from the mortgage with my own earnings. The only way before me to earn money at that point of time was to study hard and get a scholarship. So this is the source that is also given in your textbook. So um, please try to read the passage 2 or 3 times with special focus on the kind of vocabulary. Because basically the objective of this paper is to enrich your vocabulary. Now I have just copied the what exercises from your textbook here. That is, you have in the first exercise you have got 10 questions based on this particular passage, and I have copied those 10 questions and given the answers. Along with that, I have also provided like a few more synonyms as well as phrases so that you can enrich your own vocabulary. As you all know, for your exams, none of the paragraphs or passages from the textbooks will be asked. You will be getting a fresh passage. So that means you need to, anyhow, you need to improve your vocabulary or get used to more and more words so that you can write the correct answers. That is why I've given further examples of the of similar meaning. So your first question in the textbook is, dash is the phrase from the passage which means have no knowledge of. So this comes in the first line of the passage itself. I was unaware of any other option for higher education. So have no knowledge of means unaware of. So unaware of is the answer. And I have given few more synonyms equivalent to this thing, have no knowledge of. Ignorant, illiterate, unacquainted, unfamiliar, uninformed, oblivious, clueless, lowbrow, philistine, uninstructed, and untaught. And also given few phrasal examples. A fish out of water, in the dark, out of it, information gap, paucity of knowledge. So these are both idioms as well as phrases. A fish out of water is an idiom, but still we'll take it as a phrase. So these are the terms. So try to enrich your vocabulary and try to use more and more new words in your when you write and speak. Now coming to the second question. Dash is the word used in the passage for an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life. So that is a bit more easier one. You can find the answer in the second line itself. Nor did I have any information about career opportunities available. So an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life means career. Okay. So even though if you didn't, if you are not able to find the meaning, the meaning that is being given in your this question, when you read to the passage 2 3 times, you will be able to find it. So more synonyms, you can look into the more synonyms for career, profession, occupation, vocation, job, livelihood, life work, duty, pursuit, calling, etc. And phrases, walk of life, daily grind, get on in life, etc. We'll move on to the third question. Realize in the given context means. That means you need to like read the passage more to see whether there is any meaning, difference in meaning in this particular context. And you can see the word realize in the fourth line of your textbook. I had to do engineering to realize my dreams. So in this context it means that cause to happen. So that is the answer is C. So yeah, usually it means realize means understand, or here you know that this person was Kalam was a person of dreams and he wanted to make these things his dreams happen. So first he chose physics and finally he realized that okay, in order to fulfill my dreams, this is not my way, this one shouldn't be my subject, I should learn something else, that is engineering. So that is the context where he uses this word. And we'll look into the synonyms. Enable, these are synonyms of cause to happen. Enable, decisive, productive, enact, instrumental, carry out, bring about, set off, create, initiate, effectuate, perpetrate, bed in. Actually, the set off is a phrase, but often we use it as a synonym for something, this words like cause to happen. And look into the phrase put in place, arrange for, cause to occur, get set, start the ball rolling, be a recipe for something, etc. So these are the phrases, some of the interesting phrases. Now coming to the fourth question. The phrase made a detour in the passage means, that is soon after the realization that okay, this is not the subject I want to take, he makes a change. That comes towards the end of the last paragraph, the first paragraph in your textbook, that is the second last line in the first paragraph. I made a detour in the as applying for admission to the Madras Institute of Technology. I made a detour. There comes it. That is the second last line towards the end of the first paragraph. And that means chose a different subject. So that is what he was talking about. And you can find more synonyms. Alternative route. Detour means alternative route. Usually we use that term when you describe something about the travel. Alternative route, deviation, divergence, deflection, swerve, alteration, digression, etc. Digression, often when we talk about something and all of a sudden we move on to something else, or talk about another a different topic, we call it as a digression from the topic. So like this, similar words: alternative route, deviation, diversion, deflection, swerve, alteration, and digression. Now coming to the fifth question. The word dash from the passage is a synonym of reputable. Okay, so what here you do not have any options, and you need to look into the passage again. In the second paragraph, second line, I managed to be on the list of selected candidates, but the admission to this prestigious institution was an expensive affair. Reputable. So the synonym for reputable is prestigious, that is in the passage. So the synonyms can be eminent, esteemed, prominent, notable, illustrious, renowned, exalted, acclaimed, conscientious, upstanding, and venerated. Also, phrases: high ranking, highly rated, of note, highly sought after, major league, in good order, held in esteem. Please read the synonyms and phrases again and again so that it will be in your head. Okay, so I guess this is clear, and we'll move on to the sixth question. Pick out the antonym of economical from the passage. So in the same sentence itself, that is the second paragraph, second line, prestigious institution, but the admission to this prestigious institution was an expensive affair. So antonym, until now all the questions were to find the word of similar meaning. Now you have to find the word that is opposite meaning. So economical, opposite, expensive, that is there in your passage. And since there are two words, I thought I list the synonyms for both the words and phrases for both the words. Now first we'll look into the synonyms for economical. Frugal, prudent, reasonable, affordable, penurious, laconic. And the synonyms for expensive are exorbitant, classy, sumptuous, opulent, flamboyant, etc. Like words like sumptuous and flamboyant actually doesn't exactly relate itself directly to something that is related to the price. Sumptuous we often call a lunch as or a dinner as a sumptuous lunch or dinner, and flamboyant is it is mostly colorful. Anyway, some sort of luxurious or classy appeal. Now coming to the phrases for economical. Dime a dozen, marked down, bought for a song, past mileage, etc. Just read it again and again so that you are familiar with the new vocabulary. Now phrases for expensive: costing an arm and a leg, worth its weight in gold, cost a bundle, etc. Costing an arm and a leg, worth its weight in gold, cost a bundle, etc. We often don't use these words, so please try to read them again so that you get familiar with the word. Now coming to the seventh question, the phrase deeply touched is related to, that is a most common word. So the deeply touched is the word that is used directly in the passage. You need to find the what meaning of it. For example, it comes exactly in the middle of that second paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth line. I was deeply touched by her determination to see me educated. So you need to find the meaning of it. That is deeply touched, directly related to a strong emotion. Because other options are punishment, special treatment, none of the above, etc. So you can relate it to strong emotion, or deeply touched or deeply moved by something. Anyway, synonyms: fervor, moved, humbled, emotive, overwhelmed, tumult, etc. And phrases: strong sense, profoundly moved, really got, hit hard, case of nerves, etc. Read the phrases again and again. Other words are already familiar to you, I suppose. Now coming to the eighth question. Dash is not a synonym of wow. Dash is not a synonym. Speech, promise, oath, and pledge. So answer is definitely speech. And this vow actually comes in the just before the second last line of the second paragraph. I vowed to release her bangles from the mortgage with my own earnings. There comes it. So the all other words, promise, oath, pledge, everything means vow. So yeah, now let us look at the synonyms for vow. Swear, guarantee, assert, resolution, pact, ordain, ensure. Here, since we got one other word, speech also, I have looked into the synonyms for that too. Oration, discourse, diction, and rhetoric. You need to be familiar with these what 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, especially the literature and communicative English students. Often these terms, oration, discourse, diction, rhetoric, comes into your subject again and again, especially when you deal with your literary theory and literary criticism. All these words comes again and again, so please do focus on these words. And now the phrases for vow: give one's word, swear to, oath of allegiance, commit oneself, live up to. Now the phrases for speech: talk sense, root word, word for it. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now we'll move on to the ninth question. Mortgage is related to criminal procedures, movies and music, chemical reactions, financial transactions. So it directly deals with financial transactions. So that too comes in the same line, 2 lines before the last paragraph. I vowed to release her bangles from the mortgage with my own earnings. It is something related to the financial transaction. Synonyms are contract, troth, bond, encumbrance, hypothecate, collateral, etc. Often you might have heard about collateral property that we used to give when you take bank loans, etc. So I guess that word collateral might be familiar to you. Then coming to the phrases, you have pawn off, in hoc, etc. That may not be familiar to you, but try to read it again and again so that you can realize the meaning of it and you can use it in your day-to-day life. Now coming to the last question. Dash is the single word for the condition of being a candidate. That is, the word candidate actually comes in the beginning of the second paragraph, but of course you know that this you need to find the answer from those confusing multiple choices that are given there: candidatehood, candidation, candidatory, and candidature. Of course, the word will be candidature, and the more synonyms can be candidacy, candidateship, applicant, etc. But if you look into more phrases and synonyms, you will reach some things related to the election and vote, etc. That's why I haven't did more, because here it simply means an applicant to a college. So the condition of being a candidate here is that Kalam being a candidate who applied for the new course. And that is why I didn't take more synonyms from for the same word, which actually directly refers to this election. So I guess we can stop here for the day, and we'll continue with the practical exercises. You will be having one more session on this unit 1. Then only we can finish. In that, more phrases will be coming and more antonyms will be coming. So see you, meet you all in the next class. Thank you.